TVC Entertainment. We've got juicy stories lined up for you today, of course. Starting from the review of the Champions League actions that happened during midweek. And of course, we have Premier League, actions happening this weekend. We have to talk about that. That is very, very much important. My name is Toyosi Afolayan. I'll be your host for today's show. But of course, I won't be doing this show alone. I have somebody I actually like talking sport with, He's in the studio, Afiz Ogunbanjo. Good morning, man.
Good morning, my brother. And good morning, beautiful people. And yes, just like we've seen before we even came on the show, we saw the highlights. The Champions League is back all right. Match day one came, and it's like it should not go. We want more games because we saw a lot of actions, teams bottling leads. And having a huge impact on them. They had to switch up their manager.
Yeah.
A team that has been doing that late show this season. That's talking about Liverpool. Look at what Barcelona also did. Marcus Rashford looks like he's enjoying football again.
Rejuvenated already.
A lot went down in the Champions League, and a lot is also going to happen this weekend. The top 5 leagues are back. A lot to talk about, and
it's an happy time for football fans across the world, where
Absolutely.
you get to watch league actions on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, and then from Tuesday to Thursday, you're still watching European football.
A lot of games. It might have its impact on the players, but then
I do not buy the thing about repercussions or whatsoever. Even Enzo Maresca, he shares my thought, saying that his father is about 75 years of age. And for 50 years, it's been fishing. That is what you call stress.
Yeah.
For somebody who does not exactly make that amount of money.
Yes.
But you're playing 75 games and you're making...
And there's something I'm telling that is...
hasn't played the football.
Bench,
and he's making... football is just not something you should be saying... I would, of course, do it for fun if I was talented enough. But, let's go into the Premier and the Champions League review. FC Barcelona, 2 new winners away at Newcastle, St. James's Park. You never expected that kind of result.
Absolutely. Not even, at least with the way Newcastle started like a house on fire. That's what it takes. When you don't take your chances against a bigger side, you might get hurt if you allow them into the flow of the game. It was expected
because even Bruno Guimaraes, during the post-match interview, said that FC Barcelona, they knew they were a very good side, but they showed why they are better than even some of the top clubs in England. He mentioned Arsenal, he mentioned City, Liverpool, and the likes, saying, even when it comes to St. James's Park, they find a way to, contain them, not allowing them to score. They could even go away with a loss. But Barcelona found a way, regardless of, the tactics that
they did. Let's talk about the game against Liverpool, for example, in the Premier League. Newcastle came back from 2 goals down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you don't take your chances, let's say, it was quite unfortunate they were down to 10 men, but they had chances to also get ahead, to win the game, but they lost it, and Newcastle, Liverpool won 3-2. So, same as what happened in midweek against Barcelona as well. They had chances from Elanga to Gordon to Barnes, even though Barcelona had their goalkeeper, Juan Garcia, to thank, right? Yeah. But they had chances to put the game even to bed in the first half. Then they allowed Barcelona in. I think it was 0-0 at the break. They let Barcelona in, and Marcus Rashford did what he did.
But you might be saying that they allowed Barcelona to come into the game, but you know that FC Barcelona are king of comebacks. Last season, they did a lot. Imagine if they had considered a goal, it might have been an awakener for them, to be honest.
Yeah, but with the way the flow of the game was going on in the first half, in that first 15-20 minutes, Newcastle looked like they would have gone in to score more than one. So it might even have put Barcelona in a precarious situation. It might be like 3-0, 4-0, even 4. Yeah, it might be 4-0.
It is quite easy to talk about football, saying it could have been 4, could have been 5.
Yes.
But you're not converting.
That's what I'm saying.
The goalkeeper making saves is also part of football.
Yeah, you were talking about Barcelona. They might have been able to come back, I understand. But at the same time, if Newcastle are taking their chances, it might have put Barcelona in a very, very, very precarious situation. It might have been like 3-0, that they might not even had the chance. And Newcastle, trust me, if Newcastle goes 3-0 up against Barcelona or any other team at St. James's Park, it will be hard to come back against them.
Another result that got people talking was that of, Arsenal. 2-0 win away in Spain. 2-0 away in Spain.
Yes.
But Arsenal fans still had a way of saying that, they were not impressed with the win whatsoever. And to be honest, they found a way to win without William Saliba, without Bukayo Saka. Noni Madueke came in and is slotting into that right wing
role. Yes.
So what do you think is Arsenal's secret to the success so far? Last season, they would have, of course, faltered not having Bukayo Saka, not having Martin Odegaard, not having William Saliba. 3 key stars out.
I think it's down to one. Obviously, there's squad depth now. I mean, a bigger depth, a deeper depth than what it used to be, right? And also, it's down to the pragmatism of the manager. Yeah. I mean, we can all blame Arteta for playing that anti-football, but at the same time, it seems like it's working for him. I mean, it started with almost like the same formation he did against Liverpool, where they lost 1-0 in the Premier League. And don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. They withstood a lot of pressure from Athletic Club in the first half.
I mean, it was evenly matched.
That place, San Mamés, is actually a very, very hard place to play. Barcelona fans can attest to it. Madrid fans can also attest to it. It's hard to play at San Mamés, and this is even the Champions League. So they came at Arsenal from minute 1. They tried to unsettle Arsenal, but then you know that Arteta's boys now have that grit within them. And that's what I said, it's down to the pragmatism of the manager, right? He can switch from flowing football to what the boys call the Aram, right? So it really worked for Arsenal. The squad depth is also there, but then how long can this last? I mean, a lot of Arsenal fans, you can see from their frustration that they are not used to playing like this. It's like you are going from Arsenal to prime Atletico Madrid.
Of course.
And it's not supposed to be that way.
It works one way or the other.
I know defense wins you titles, but defense also cannot win you games all the time. Yeah. Right? So, fine. This thing, what's even getting me interested is this. A lot of Arsenal fans complained last season that there were games where they could have negotiated easily if there was a number 9. Yeah. Right? And now they brought in that number 9. Yeah. And now they're playing like they're playing without a striker. It's not working.
Well, let's take a look at other results here. Chelsea were 3-1 losers to FC Bayern Munich. Prior to the game, a lot of fans were saying that
the world champions.
I think the Club World Cup is creating some sort of entitlement, saying we can go to Arsenal to win, we can go to FC Barcelona to win, you can go to Real Madrid to win. But sincerity, Chelsea are not all that. They are not all that, and I think they were put to their place by FC Bayern Munich. Olise took the life out of Marco Corella. Estavio was nowhere to be found.
He came on. You can't blame the kid.
Sanchez was fantastic to an extent. Absolutely. If not for Sanchez, it could have been more. Harry Kane was in its element. So, what do you see going forward for Chelsea? Do you think that they actually belong in the elite right now?
Well, for me, I think there's a lot of questions to answer for Chelsea. Number one, they have the players, but we shouldn't forget that these boys are young. Right? And they are not just young, they are inexperienced with the Champions League. Forget that they won the Conference League, right? I mean, it's respect to the Conference League, but it's the C European competition. It's the C cadre, right? You have the Champions League and we have the Europa League even before that one. And they went for the Club World Cup, but in all sincerity, I know they played PSG, they beat PSG.
It was a summer series. I could call it a summer series.
That performance against Bayern Munich is making that win over PSG look like a fluke right now. Some PSG fans on Twitter are even saying that they should come back and play again if they are going to see if it's going to be the same way.
In as much as I would say that I do not rate Chelsea based on what they're doing right now. Maybe it might have been a fluke, but a win is a win regardless.
If you keep these boys together and you give them that right structure, these boys will perform. I mean, it's showing. Look at the likes of Kopama, Joao Pedro. Look at the entire squad. Their average age should be like 25.
I think
who's the oldest player in Chelsea?
The jury is still out.
They are young and inexperienced. The jury is still
out on Joao Pedro and Liam Delap. Oh man.
No, what I'm just saying in the sense is they are still very young and inexperienced. And Bayern Munich showed them that experience. I mean, you have a certain Harry Kane. I know he hasn't won the competition, but he's a striker that you shouldn't leave anyhow. In front of goal. And Chelsea should actually maybe prioritize more on their defense because they have the attackers. Come on now. They have massive depth in that attack, but that defense, Enzo Maresca still looks like he doesn't even know his pairing, his favorite defensive pairing. Today it might be Tosin and Colwill. Tomorrow it might be Chalobah and Fofana.
The way it rotates.
And these are all average centre-backs, to be honest. And they're still by their Chile. That Chelsea fans are not even fancying at this point. You brought in Jorel Hato. He hardly plays. The one game he has played, he hasn't looked up to speed. Yeah. So I think Chelsea, they are all over the place in that defense. But if they can get it right, for banter's sake, some fans don't want them to get it right, I know. But if they can get it right, trust me, they are going to be a very good team.
What would we do if we don't talk about our own boys? Victor Osimhen was missing for Galatasaray in their 5-1 loss to Frankfurt. And of course, Ademola Lookman was also missing for Atlanta's 4-0 defeat.
Don't come and tell me that's why their team lost.
You, of course, know I was going to ask that question, man. Okay, so if
it could have been better.
Victor Osimhen missed that game due to the injury suffered against Rwanda. Yes, I was there and he was very furious. But I must commend him for not beating up the person who injured him. Yeah. I must commend him because every fan in the stadium felt that fury.
If he had beat up, it's first thing is football no violence. It's football no violence. But if he had beaten up that player, what are you going to be saying by that? Of course, he's not going to play. He's not going to play even in the upcoming qualifiers.
I understand you, yeah. But if you look at it, it was very, very annoying. The challenge was very reckless. Yes. But let's forget the challenge now. He missed the Galatasaray game, and according to reports, he was even willing to take injections to play that game.
Yes.
But my sources...
At some point, they declared him fit. Yes, but the coach just made a bold decision.
My sources told me that I wasn't able to kick the ball, was in his room all through the weekend, all of that. So, Victor Osimhen, had he been, if I had played for Galatasaray, would he be a game changer? They have Icardi, they have Rosani, Lucas Torreira, they have David Sanchez. Yeah. A lot of top boys are playing for them now. Of course. The 5-1 loss to Frankfurt.
Of course, but I mean, you're calling Frankfurt like as if it's the Champions League level playing ground.
I know.
There's really not much difference between Frankfurt and Galatasaray.
There's not much difference.
You understand?
In terms of quality.
Even in fact, you can even rate Frankfurt a little higher based on the league they are playing. And this is not, and they've won the Europa League with Oliver Glasner. So they are a good side. I mean, they just got not got rid, but they made sales of Igor Ekitike and Omar Mamouche, and they've actually replaced them. Jonathan Boka scored 2 goals, and there's a young kid in that team, Chan Ozun, who also, I think he got 2 goals as well. They outplayed Galatasaray. Forget that Galatasaray scored first. They outplayed Galatasaray. I mean, Davinson Sanchez got back to his Tottenham days. We know him in the Premier League now. So, but then it wasn't really a good performance. If Osimhen had played, probably it might have been better. They can get goals. Is a channel for goals, obviously.
It would have, channeled this.
But the way that match went, I will still take it back to what Jose Mourinho said, legendary Jose Mourinho said, if you don't have the ball, you don't have it. There was a point where the chance was not even coming. The chance was not, it was all Frankfurt, and they won that game deservedly 5-1.
Ademola Lookman might have not played. Even if he had played, PSG might have won, of course, because, Ademola Lookman is not Messi. Even a Messi in Atlanta's squad, might have not been able to do anything.
Did Messi suffer 4-0 against Liverpool at Anfield?
So
even if Messi
it is possible.
Yes, even at this club, there's a loss.
Having somebody who is like marquee for you can change games. Yes. Even if you're not winning the game, at least it shouldn't be an humbling defeat. 4-0, 5-1, no, it shouldn't be. I would take a 5-4 or 5-3 than a 5-1, of course. A loss is a loss, but at least goal difference matters, and of course, the face of the club, they also matter.
But when the season started, right, a lot of people are saying Atalanta, they're trying to nail Atalanta to the sword because of the old Ademola Lookman situation.
But now they brought him back to the training. He trained on Thursday. He should be playing on Sunday now.
You see, seriously, there's a lot that we journalists can actually go far. Yeah. There's a limit to which we can go. There's a lot going on behind the scene. We are not in the back room, right? Yeah. We don't have all the information. For me, I had this conversation with guys, and they're like, if you are Ademola Lookman, what is that? I mean, what is Atalanta trying to do?
They had a gentleman agreement.
It doesn't work in 2025.
No.
It doesn't work in 2025.
Gyökeres had a gentleman agreement.
How did he go?
He had to pay out of his pocket.
How did he go?
But you see, I understand that contract is contract. You must obey. Same thing with me. If I sign a contract with you and then you breach, I'll sue you to court. Just say. But in this time, verbal agreement, okay.
It doesn't work.
If an offer comes, Victor Osimhen was given a verbal agreement. Did it work? No. So it is just a thing with most of these Italian clubs and the clubs that are selling clubs.
Yeah, maybe Ademola Lookman wasn't trying to take it down the Messi route.
Good boy, not the pay, Abi.
In a way, because it looked like the likes of Gyökeres, the likes of even Isak, I mean, Wissa.
They forced their way out of the club.
But, I mean, Ademola Lookman necessarily doesn't have to go down that route, right? And you making an agreement saying, I think Inter came out to say they wouldn't sell you to a club playing, they won't sell you to a rival. Let's put it that way. They won't sell you to a rival, a club playing in Italy for 2 seasons or 2 years. And you agreed. So why are you coming out now? Because the way you said it in the statement he released, he agreed. It was an agreement.
It was a betrayal. What happened to bids
that is why I'm saying, what with all the Messi situation that went down, and now they're offering him a 2-year deal. Yeah. Ademola Lookman, for me, if I were to be him, I won't accept it. I'll just play down my contract. But at the same time, this is why you don't have Messi situations with clubs. You might agree. You might say you don't want to play. You don't want a new deal. You might reject a new deal. You want to play down your contract. But what if they keep you off on the bench?
Of course,
and as a player, you cannot attract big clubs while being on the bench. You need to play. So for me, I think Ademola Lookman running down that contract is the best option for him.
He has the option of leaving the club in January, but it will be at AFCON at the time.
Yes, and Atalanta's issues is not even Ademola Lookman. When they appointed Ivan Juric, I knew there was going to be a problem.
See what he did at Southampton.
I mean, this is a manager that is synonymous with helping teams not to relegate. He will draw them down. He will be out of job. Then the team that is going down, they will appoint him. He will save that team. So
that's how it can be.
Replacing a certain Gasperini who just won you the Europa League 2 seasons ago with no. You know, I knew they were good. I knew they were in for it, and he might not even see next. He might not see next season at Atalanta. He might be out of job. He might be out of job by next season. I mean, he might not see next year.
Yeah, of course. You know, let's leave the Champions League and let's talk about the Premier League. Liverpool are having the Merseyside derby against Everton this afternoon. Yes. But there's this striker conundrum they have that is having Ugo Ekitike. Yeah. You know, some people call him Ekitikete, but Ekitike, Ugo Ekitike from Frankfurt.
Ekiti boy.
And then we have Alexander Isak, somebody who forced his move out of Newcastle for Liverpool. You're signing, Ugo Ekitike was for 90 million, then Alexander Isak was over
130
so why pounds. Do you think, I know Liverpool might be in the right space to do that because of their financial power and their right standing with FFP and what do they call this?
PSR.
PSR, yeah. They're in the right standing.
Yes.
But financial-wise, do you think it is wise enough to spend close to 100 on each, marquee strikers? Having two, it is very good to have depth. But in this situation, what would you think if you were a Liverpool, board member?
Invest on the defense. I mean, it's so obvious that Liverpool are short in that aspect, in that area.
It's a close window already. But bringing in two strikers that
they should have done that before they signed Isak. I mean, as much as it looks like it's a stain on Newcastle, to be honest, because Newcastle, they were the ones that actually wanted Ugo Ekitike to replace Alexander Isak.
Yes.
And right now, Liverpool came in. They went for Ekitike. Newcastle looked like they were going to keep Alexander Isak, but he didn't want to stay there. And Liverpool, poached him again. I think for me, Liverpool, before the Alexander Isak signing, and normally you won't see Alexander Isak wanting to leave and you will not go for him, right? But I think that they should have probably invested, in other areas. They looked like they were going to sign Gueye, right? They looked like they were going to sign Maguire from Crystal Palace, but it didn't work out because of what Oliver Glasner said, allegedly, and also they couldn't get a replacement on time. So Liverpool may be, as much as they have that depth, like you said, they are spots for choice in that attack. Even Gakpo can play as a 9, but that defense. I mean, look at the way they've been negotiating games. They always concede.
So now, before we go on a short break, your decision it was an unwise decision to buy Isak.
No, it's not an unwise decision.
So
to buy Isak.
You would accept.
It's going to have an impact on Ekitike. But how about your defense? These guys will guarantee you goals. Fine, they will give you the goals. But how about your defense? Because if you keep conceding as you are scoring, it might have an impact in you winning the league.
It might have an impact on winning you the league. But of course, we have to, go on a break. When we're back, we'll be talking everything concerning the Premier League. We have 3 marquee games happening this weekend. And of course, it is going to affect the, standings from Chelsea to United, Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal, City. Yeah, let's go. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. It is still the beautiful game live on TVC Entertainment, and my name remains Toyosi Afolayan. Afiz Ogumbanjo is still in the building with me this morning. Afiz, we're going to be talking all things Premier League now. Yeah. The preview the Liverpool versus Everton game, City versus Arsenal, and Chelsea against Manchester United. 2 fixtures will be happening today. That's Liverpool versus Everton by 12:30. Then 5:30 we're going to be having Chelsea versus United. On Sunday, that City Arsenal. So let's start with Liverpool. We were talking about Ugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak. If you were, what's his name? Anslot,
yeah.
What would you be doing in this kind of situation where you have, I'm sorry, but I don't want to say 2 elite strikers. Because Ugo Ekitike, why am I having issues pronouncing his name?
He's a tongue twister. I won't blame you. He's a tongue twister.
I don't know why, but
yeah.
Ekitike himself is not an elite striker. I can assure you, he's not in the same mode as that of Victor Osimhen.
No, of course.
I thought you wanted to say no. I thought you wanted to. So Ekitike is not in the mode as Victor Osimhen or Ademola.
He has better quality, Shabo. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I know. Let's look at it. Who would you be picking? See, I'm very, very big on finance. You spent 90 million in Ekitike. Would you be benching? Would you be sitting on the bench or playing just 20 minutes or 35 minutes?
Well, it's kind of like a good headache to have, a good selection headache to have. But at the same time, we have to look at a certain Alexander Isak. This guy came in from the... he's Premier League proven. And even if you are not starting him for anything, it cost you 130 million. That's the most expensive transfer in British history at the moment. Right? So, and he has a profile. Come on. He has done back-to-back seasons and he has done 20 or more. So let's give him that. I mean, maybe he's not match fit. You can say that. Maybe he's still a bit rusty. But that game that we just saw, where they play Atletico Madrid 3-2, it didn't look bad. Of course. Right? And it shows that with more games under his belt, he can show what he can do. And no better game to actually come for him to prove that than this Merseyside derby against Everton. It's happening at Anfield. It's usually not a derby especially when it's played at Anfield. Liverpool has Everton's number at Anfield. Everton, they get so aggressive when they get to the former Goodison Park. And we are going to see what they are going to play at their new stadium later in the season. But right now, they are going to Anfield. For me, I think I will be starting with Alexander Isak. I mean, football is not, his life is not fair itself. Football is not fair. It's not being fair on Ugo Ekitike right now. He felt like he was going to be the main man, especially after coming in for 90 million, and he did start badly. Right? Yeah. Because I think he scored in his first 3 games. He even gave an assist. But Alexander Isak just has to play against Everton on today.
He has to play.
He's fit. He's not injured.
Ekitike has... if you're looking at his formation now, Ekitike himself should be starting in that position. But as we have it, it's Alexander Isak. It has 3 goals and 1 assist in 6 games for Liverpool. That's not a bad number.
It's not.
He hit the ground running.
It's not. But
he has something that almost every striker has. He's tall, can control the ball, has his pace.
It seems like they are even of the same profile.
Yes.
But the fact that Alexander Isak, I said, how many games has Isak played for it to of course he's going to have more numbers. Ekitike has played more games. But, okay, what if Isak comes in today and gets a hat-trick? Are you still going to clamour for Ekitike to start?
Well, when it comes to reputation, Isak deserves to lead the line. But it won't be bad if you can partner both. Isak can play off that Gakpo side, the left wing.
No, he's not known for that.
But, of course, you see him coming in through the left flank. Where Gakpo is playing, he can come into that flank.
So what will happen to Gakpo and Riongumoa?
You can, of course, alternate.
And
you need to alternate.
Chiesa.
Alternate,
who is in the Premier League squad, who is supposed to be playing. So what's going to happen?
Well, Ekitike is starting.
Ekitike is starting.
Yes,
so now it's been confirmed that Ekitike is going to start, but for how long? Isak is still going to play, definitely, because number one, like I said, he's Premier League proven.
Yeah.
I'm sure the reason he's on the bench is because he hasn't had much games under his belt already this season.
Because he started the game against Atletico Madrid.
Transfer saga. It was because of that transfer saga. If he had had that good preseason with Liverpool, I'm sure he's going to be the one to be starting today, right? Well,
it's not exactly a big game. It's a derby. We know it's always very, very tough. But
maybe not one of the classics.
And one of the best derbies outside top 6, it's the Merseyside derby.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Outside the top 6. You don't need to be... Okay, what I'm saying...
Have you seen Newcastle Sunderland?
Nah, please. I'm talking about of recent now.
It's bigger.
Of recent, we see the Merseyside derby get more watch even than some London derbies.
Yeah, because of its
the history.
It's involving Liverpool and Everton. Yeah, and the history. Yeah.
So looking at now, I want to put it to you that it's going to be like a one-sided game. A one-sided game.
Jack Grealish is informal.
No matter the
That's
form,
the player of the month.
It is Anfield. If it was their ground, I might have given them a chance. Statistics back it up. In the last 10 games, Everton have only won just once.
Once, yeah.
So
at Anfield.
Tell me why you are going to be saying because they have Jack Grealish, they have Iliman in there. See, it might be having something, ticking for them.
Yeah.
But Grealish is not a Messi.
Mm-hmm.
You can score free kicks. It takes set pieces, but controlling the game is what would matter. And if you watch the games last season at Anfield, even at Goodison Park, it was more of not taking your chances. So it will be one-sided.
Right,
Liverpool will control the game.
Speaking of control, right? Liverpool has a weapon in that, let me say, that attacking midfield role, number 10, who hasn't been, he hasn't been up to speed so far. Florian Wirtz has just been, let me say, no, I don't say shambolic, but he hasn't lived up to that price tag yet. I know it's still few games coming into the season, but he hasn't lived up to that price tag yet. Today, he might have the opportunity to, do better, but then that spark hasn't been there, really. So far in their midfield, it's been down to Ryan Gravenberch's brilliance. Yeah. I will tell you that.
Well,
and Szoboszlai has done well.
I saw his upgrade from EA. And somebody who had 79 or 78 last season has 85 now. I'm like, damn,
you have to give it to him.
For real.
You have to give it to him. You have to give it to him. He has done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And I'm still speaking of that attack. That attack is okay. But what's going to happen to their defense? They've been considering. I think the Arsenal, it was only the Arsenal game and the Burnley game that they hadn't considered a goal. I mean, so if Everton also tries to come at them, they might get the goals because that Liverpool defense is shaky at this moment. But speaking of the attack, they don't really have a problem with that.
We've talked about new signings, but if I can assure you and tell you based on what I have here with me, Florian Wirtz is not starting this game. 007 continues, right?
Of course it does.
It should continue.
Of course. And that agenda of 007, we are still pushing it. But maybe we are going to excuse him from this game because he's not playing. So Wirtz and Isak not being involved at this point, well, maybe Arne Slot might be tipping Dominic Szoboszlai to come back into that midfield role to come and play. I mean, Szoboszlai has also...
Frimpong is back and right back.
Exactly. So, and Szoboszlai so far, he has held down that right back role well when Frimpong was out.
What's his man's name? What's his name again?
Alexis McAllister?
But Martinelli has to get a blame. Martinelli has to get the blame because they could have considered against Arsenal. But let's leave that path. Ugochukwu gets the nod to start today.
Yeah.
So how do you see the game panning out for him, basically?
Well, generally for Liverpool, I think over the years, this early kickoff hasn't really been friendly for them.
Yeah.
They've gone into games where they're supposed to negotiate easily, but I don't know what they have with early kickoffs. They don't really get the results going. But I think Merseyside derby at the early kickoff is actually good for us here to to where's our appetite for what's to come. I mean, we still have another game. That's speaking of Chelsea and Man to come back later in the day. So for me, if I'm to go directly with my prediction, I think I'm going to give Liverpool that win. They should get enough to. You're a friend of the punters as well. Yeah.
You're a friend of the punters. Look into your screen and tell them now that, okay, what's the advice you're giving to the punters this morning?
Well, to the investors, I think you should just go for, if you don't want to, let me say, fancy a straight win for Liverpool based on the early kickoff not being friendly for them, you can go for goals. There will be goals in this game.
Well, I want to assure you that if you're looking at me now, I'm giving you both teams to score. Why am I giving you that? Because Liverpool have conceded at least 3 times this season.
Yeah.
They have scored late winners, 4 out of 5 fixtures. So basically, just go with both teams to score. Everton will definitely score.
They might concede.
They will score.
Liverpool might concede, absolutely. But I still tip for a win. They should get this right.
Well, another fixture that gets us talking now is Chelsea versus Manchester United. It's going to be happening this evening. In the last, I think about 10 games, it's been even. 7 draws. I think 6 draws. Yes, 6 draws. 6 draws. 2 wins for United. 2 wins for Chelsea.
First thing, regardless of the form of Manchester United, in games like this, form goes out of the window. I mean, last season where Manchester United were equally as bad as they are right now, maybe a bit worse, they got a draw at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And I think this game is also happening at Old Trafford. And, well, it's going to be a good test for Chelsea. If they have that bounce-back ability from what happened in the Champions League, they'll forget that result in the Champions League, go into the Premier League.
It's quite easy to forget. It's against United. Yes, I'm not bantering United, but yes. I'm going to tell you for a fact, going to Old Trafford, it's going to be a boring game. Yes.
Why? But Chelsea are not a boring team.
No, it's not. It's not about Chelsea. It's not about United. When both sides meet, statistics have shown it. You barely see goals.
Yeah, it's because, like I said, form goes out of the window.
Yes.
You look at the first game of the season between Manchester United and Arsenal. You know, normally a lot of people were saying, "Oh, with Arsenal's transfer, they should go in and dominate Man United." No. But it looked like Manchester United should even have gotten the 3 points. So it might actually be the same today, but the issues still linger with Manchester United. Yeah. What is going on at that club? I mean, there's a lot. We might blame the board, we might blame the players and the manager, but what is really going on? You can't accept to be mid-table or even below, going down the table. You can't accept it as your standard. That is not Manchester United's standard. But for Chelsea, like I said, they have the players, they have the depth right now that Manchester United can't boast of. Yeah. And for me, I think they are going to go in there to do better than what they've been doing over the years.
You know, I watched the press conference of Enzo Maresca, and it was taking a diss at United. I understand he's got the full right to do so because he's won the how do I call it? He's won the Club World Cup and the Conference League. So he has the right to do everything concerning Chelsea. I mean, to diss United. Yeah, he has everything. So it was basically saying that United have not been in a good place, and what they are going to be looking forward to do is winning, getting 3 points. They've not won against City. They've not won against Arsenal, and Chelsea would have been a perfect time for them to make a statement. It's playing mind games, but also taking a diss at United that they've been in dismal form.
Yes, they have. I mean,
even Maresca himself just won. I think he just won over United just once, and he has suffered defeat also.
But then Chelsea are in a much better place than Man United right now at the moment.
Of course,
they're in a much better place than United.
Just like you said, form is thrown out of the window. Yes. So if you're going to be looking at this game based on pedigree, we've seen that it's either you can go either side. United can turn up. See what happened against City. They could have also gotten the win if possible, but Donnarumma was fantastic. Absolutely. A goal can change the game. Yeah. See what happened last season when that unexpected win against City. If they had gotten the first goal or they had even gotten a goal after City had scored, it might have been a draw because goals give you, they give you ginger. Yes. And against Chelsea now.
Well, it's still down to the tactics of the manager. I mean, it has shown recently, in fact, over a lot of games right now, over a number of games, that's 3-4-3 or whatever formation is doing with 3 at the back is absolutely not working. Maybe if he chooses to be pragmatic, he has come out to say he's not going to change his philosophy. I'm speaking of Ruben Amorim now. He has come out to say he's not going to change his philosophy. You can only change the man. That means he's trying to tell you that if you're not okay with what I'm going to do, you can let me go.
The man out of the bush, but you cannot take the bush out of the man.
But the bush is actually growing bigger and bigger. It's getting filled with weeds. That weed has to be cut soon. You need to cut it off because, I mean, it is not working. Just choose to be pragmatic. Even Pep can be pragmatic, Arteta can be pragmatic. We have seen the top coaches, pragmatism has helped them to win titles. Maybe not in Arteta's case, but it has helped them to win titles, right? So that one, I'm just saying that if he chooses to be pragmatic, if he changes that formation, they might go toe-to-toe with Chelsea today. But for me, I still see Chelsea winning.
Your prediction for the game before we move to Arsenal 60?
Well, for me, I want, right?
What do you believe is going to happen?
It might be a close game eventually, right? Manchester United might even get the win. But for me, I think there will be goals. And for me, I'll drop my exclusive. Chelsea will win.
Chelsea to win?
Yeah, I think Chelsea will win.
Well, I think the Panthers need to hold you responsible if anything of such happens.
You can follow my exclusive if you want.
Well, let's talk about the clash of the champions. Even if you wouldn't regard Arsenal as champions. You would. I know you won't regard them as champions.
Clash of the champions.
But I'm saying clash of the champions because Arsenal have become second place champions for 3 times.
Second place champions.
Yes, that's the title. Yeah. They've won the second place title for 3 times in a row now, and they brought to the league twice to City. They lost last season to Liverpool. Last season was very chaotic. First game of the season. It was a 2-2 draw at the Etihad, where Rodri, of course, he got injured, and what would you expect? Yeah. was out for close to about a year.
And he missed the season.
Calafiori made his announcement to the Arsenal team with a banger. Second game, 5-1 loss. I was not expecting, even if you were expecting a win, because Arsenal have been showing that they have things to score to settle against City. There was this one, and they lost 5-1 to City. Granit Xhaka receiving his red card. Yes. They were fantastic in that game.
Yeah.
But after the red card was
yes.
Also another game at the Etihad where they played very, very well. Bukayo Saka scored very early, and then Bernardo Silva and the likes, they got the win also. But for the past 4 games now, City have found it very hard to defeat Arsenal.
Absolutely.
2 draws, 2 losses against Arsenal.
Yes. So I mean, throughout the entirety of 2 seasons ago, they didn't get a result.
Last season.
Also last season. But at the same time, City so far, I don't know, it's like they have 2 sides to their game. They started like a house on fire against Wolves. People were beginning to bring back that fear factor. Yeah. But then they lost 2 games on the bounce, and now they've won 2, including the Champions League. That game where they won 2-0 against Napoli. City are still City. Pep is still Pep. No matter what they are going through. You can't compare Arteta to Pep. Don't even let us go there. I mean, City are miles ahead of Arsenal and whatever Arteta has to offer. Even his biggest success has been at City.
No. See, I'm not talking about. I'm talking from the perspective of when it comes to pedigree of these players in City. I know Bernardo is there, Rodri is there, but based on form
anyway.
Based on form right now and what you can offer. If you're going to do like a combined XI. Let me know your combined XI for both teams.
If you want me to do a combined XI, starting in goal, Donnarumma has done so well, but I mean, David Raya has been in the Premier League, and this is a back-to-back Golden Glove winner. But going for their names, I don't know what Donnarumma is still going to come out and do right now at the Premier League. He might be a banger and be the best keeper in the league. But for me, I will go with David Raya in goal.
Okay.
Right back, Jurgen Timber. I mean, he has been fantastic. If you want me to give you, you're asking me for my
of course.
Let's do it quickly. I'll go Raya and go Timber.
Right back.
On the left back, well, I will still go with Calafiori. He has done pretty well this season. I was even put up for the Player of the Month. Then the centre back pairing, City's centre back pairing, you know which. So it's still
Saliba.
It's still Mosquera and Gabriel. Mosquera has done.
But Saliba is back. No, it's just for 13 million.
Well, it depends on who Arteta is going to play. But for me, I think we should go with Mosquera. Mosquera has been brilliant, so I'll still go with Mosquera and Gabriel.
So an Arsenal back
He's looking all Arsenal right now.
Okay, go on.
He's looking all Arsenal. And in the midfield, I'll go with Declan Rice.
Okay.
Declan Rice. Should I go for Foden? I mean, he has folded, but I'll still go with Foden, right? Let me say Arteta, Rice, Foden. Who else is in there? Zubimendi has also done well. So Zubimendi, Rice, and Foden. Zubimendi, Rice, and Foden.
Is a Rodri not fit for the role?
Rodri right now is just Rodri. He has not been the Rodri of the Ballon d'Or winning Rodri. Okay. Right? So for me, I'll go with Zubimendi. So far this season, Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and I'll give it to Phil Foden. On the right-hand side, Bernardo Silva, because...
Right-hand side? That's right flank.
Yeah, he has been deployed on the right wings by Pep. So I'll give it to Bernardo Silva.
Really?
Yeah, on the left...
So if a Bukayo is back, you wouldn't put Bukayo there?
But he's not. So they are doing combined 11 for the players that are active. Okay, fine,
go on.
Not the ones that are injured, right? So I'll go with Bernardo Silva, Eberici Eze, and Haaland. Yeah.
But that's very good. But, for people who, of course, know about this game, it's historical one way or the other in the last 5 years that Arteta and Pep Guardiola have been going head-to-head.
Yeah.
This will be the very first time that Arteta might become the manager to win to go 5 games unbeaten against Pep Guardiola. Yeah, 5 games.
It's possible because, looking at from what happened last season, it ended 5-1. Yeah. Arsenal now, they have like this, they don't feel that pressure again when they are playing Manchester City.
Or any big team for real.
Yes. Liverpool has been the only team to defeat the biggest team in a long time. So for me, I don't think that pressure might not be there against Manchester City. Saliba and Gabriel, they've shown that they can, keep Haaland in their pockets.
There's no De Bruyne, the passes you would expect.
Exactly. So for me, it might sound like an exclusive, but I'll still give Arsenal the win, to be honest. And it's also happening at the Emirates. I think Arsenal should win that game. So it might not be a whitewash like last season, but Arsenal.
Before we go, 2 betting options. Now, for me, I would go with both teams are not going to score. Yes. It's either a City 1-year win. Yes, it's either a City 1-year win, a scrappy 1-year win, or an Arsenal win. Both teams will not score.
So, okay, so that means the team that scores
one of them will
concede.
Blank. Yes.
One of them will blank. No, I think there will be goals. Arsenal has that tendency to concede against big teams. Arteta should not deploy around ball today. At the Emirates,
Arsenal have conceded just 1 goal this season in 4 games.
And that was a set piece. Well, maybe Arsenal might be the one that have that tendency to score without conceding, because to score Arsenal right now is actually pretty hard. That the
defense is good, the goalkeeper is good.
Absolutely, they worked on that defense.
Recoveries.
And also going forward with their score depth and everything, they've shown that they can also score goals. So for me, I don't know. I don't know. For the investors, maybe just pick Haaland and Gyökeres to score. If you want to, it's to boost up your odds or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it promises to be an exciting weekend for it, because if you look at actions in the Premier League, we've got Chelsea versus United, we've got Arsenal City, and happening very soon, it is that of Liverpool against Everton. What will be your predictions for today's game? But of course, let us know in our WhatsApp group. We're going to be looking at that, and next week we'll announce anybody, of course, who gets the prediction for Liverpool versus Everton. My name is Toyosi Afolayan, and we'll be ending the show here today. But of course, Afis, thank you for coming, man.
It's been a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. And Chelsea fans, maybe I don't want to say I want to be on your side today, because Manchester United fans, they've been speaking so much, like they've been showing that, like, yeah, we have a whole week to prepare, we can do it against Chelsea, but then your eye can peel, anything can happen.
Yeah, in Yoruba they will say Oju Elbow. But we'll see what happens next week. Action continues right after this show. Thank you very much for joining. My name remains Toyosi Afolayan. Bye-bye.